arresting Don Lemon. This is the playbook that dictators use.
And straight like that. Hey, real quick, man, I just need to jump in here real quick to bring you all this news, man. Don Lemon has been arrested.
Alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Bill Malusian joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Charlie, good morning to you. Our colleague David Spunt and I getting this breaking news from multiple law enforcement sources just minutes ago, confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to a judge above him. He didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming, have already been arrested, including who the feds say was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the Woke Farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested, but we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested.
Yeah, last night out in Los Angeles while he was covering the Grammys, he was picked up by authorities. Now, you say, why is Don Lemon arrested? What has he done out there at the Grammys? It's not about what he did at the Grammys. It's about a week or so ago, Don Lemon, 4 other individuals that were also arrested, and another group of protesters went to this church up in St. Paul, Minnesota, City's Church.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yes. Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
They wanted to speak with the pastor because the pastor is said to be an ICE agent. And so they're like, you're a man of God in here in the church. How do you how do you even out the two? Being a man of God and preaching forgiveness and compassion, but yet going out into the streets with a mask on, terrorizing and harassing people that hadn't got their paperwork together properly. You dig what I'm saying? So we saw the clip. And he's not talking to him, and the pastor's like, man, this is unacceptable, this is despicable. And which, when I saw the video, I'll be honest, this is my first time seeing anyone actually like go inside a church with a protest. I thought that was a little sketchy, you know what I'm saying? And so when I heard them talking about this FACE Act and trying to make him face some charges, I'm looking at him going inside of that church, and I was just always wondering, man, was that going to come back and bite him in the ass? You dig what I'm saying? And apparently it has. Now, I'm not giving any kind of credence, any kind of hand wringing to the administration, because I hate everything about what they got going on. But this is showing a level of targeting, man, that I think the people we may want to try and get a handle on this like right now. Because I've said before in my videos, if we start to see this creep and encroach in our community, on our territory, it's going to be some smoke in the city. It is going to be some furniture that will have moved to the other side of the room when you wake up, if you wake up. I've said this before. And so I look at Don Lemon, and though, he leads a lifestyle that I'm saying that I'm not in, but that doesn't discount him for being a kinfolk. You dig what I'm saying? Don is for the struggle. He out here on their ass. And so I have to identify with him on that level. You know what I'm saying? And so if they feel like they want to start extending the law out into our community and seize upon opportunities to make us look bad, I think they're playing a dangerous game, because there's countless people that hadn't went to jail about countless goddamn indiscretions up there and in and around that administration. And so if this is the game they want to play, then everybody should be aware. You dig what I'm saying? And so Dunn is locked up, hadn't made his first court appearance as of yet. As far as I know, he may be on TV right now addressing it, or in the courtroom in front of the judge. Today is Friday. I'm not sure how California works. I know in most places when you go on a Friday, you usually have to sit out the whole weekend, but he's a celebrity. He's got big time lawyers. They can probably facilitate the process to go a bit faster. But Don Lemon, along with four other individuals, and I read the names, and they sound awfully urban to me.
Do you want to wear my black boots?
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press, because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I gotta go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, guys.
I hadn't seen the faces put with the names, but yeah, they were all arrested, man. They tried to take this to a judge originally. He rejected it, and then apparently, from what I'm reading, Stephen Miller went out and sought out and solicited a grand jury to accept these charges and push forward with the charges. You dig what I'm saying? Now, it's not lost on me that this came on the heels of one Nicki Minaj up there being a nickel monkey again for the administration. A week or so back, after she came out with her original remarks and antics, Don Lemon had something to say about how he felt about her. He told her basically, you out of your depth. Get you some business. You dig what I'm saying? And so she's on this interview with Katie Miller.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Cocksucker, stop.
And there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not lost on me that this arrest came on the heels of that, and we just saw Nicki Minaj pop out here in the streets, the Trump administration streets here yesterday again. And then, the next day or that night, here we go with this Don Lemon thing, man. So We don't know exactly how much time he's facing on this thing. I'm almost sure to be thrown out in a court of law as it goes through the process. But that's kind of their stick right now. They know that a lot of things that they're doing are illegal, immoral, this, that, and the third, but they just make a judge do their job and handle it on the back end. They're gonna put you through whatever stress and strife they can along the way. You dig? But yeah, this is where we are, man. Don Lemon in the bang, in the clink. You know what I'm saying? Upstate, however you want to call it, man, over his protest that he took part in. And let me say before I get out of here, Don Lemon was there as a journalist. He didn't have a sign, he didn't have a placard, he didn't appear to be a card carrying member of the protest bunch. You dig what I'm saying? He was there as a journalist. I don't know that we can separate that from the equation, because at the end of the day he was inside the church, either way it goes. But they didn't harm anybody, wasn't any violence, wasn't any loud talking, from what I'm understanding. But he's definitely locked up, man. So we're gonna see how this thing develops out, and as it does, I'll bring updates to you all. But until then, man, it's been straight like that. I'm out.
Now what's the word, Captain? I think I caught you lacking. There are 9 more players that this hell's packing.